In this video, I will show you a very weird trick that can multiply the amount of Treasure Goblins spawning from a Goblin Altar in Diablo 4. Normally, when you activate a Goblin Altar, it usually only spawns 1 or 2 Treasure Goblins. But with this trick, if you trigger the altar correctly, you can force the game to activate it multiple times extremely fast. And that can make way more Treasure Goblins spawn at the same time. And yes, this is probably not intended. So if you want to try it while it still works, because this kind of thing can be patched at any moment. But before we continue, this video is sponsored by Senior Unlocks. If you want to instantly stack your character with gold, runes, gems, boss material, or even speed up your paragon leveling, check out seniorunlocks.com. They offer plenty of options for Diablo 4, Path of Exile 2, and more, with multiple gaming platforms with fast delivery around 20 minutes. With a 4.9 star rating on Trustpilot. The link is in the description and use code DCSK at checkout to get 5% off your order for a limited time. Now, before you can do this, you need the right setup from the Nightmare Dungeon War Plan skill tree. First, you need Horadric Hunter. This node allows a Horadric Altar to appear after killing the required number of elites in Nightmare Dungeon. But Horadric Hunter by itself is not enough, because a normal Horadric Altar can summon different things. Sometimes elites, sometimes the Butcher, sometimes Treasure Goblins, and sometimes other random effects. That is why you also need Altar of Avarice. This node changes the Horadric Altar into a Goblin Altar. So instead of getting random altar effects, the altar will focus on summoning Treasure Goblins. So the basic setup is very simple. Learn Horadric Hunter, learn Altar of Avarice, then go into Nightmare Dungeons and start killing elites until the Goblin Altar appears. Once you have that ready, now we can move into the actual trick. To multiply the Goblin spawn, you need to change one keybind in your control settings. Open your options, go to controls, and look for your move or interact keybind. Then bind an alternate key to your mouse wheel down. The reason we use mouse wheel down is because scrolling your mouse wheel can send multiple inputs in a very short amount of time. Instead of clicking once, you are basically spamming interact many times per second. And that is the important part of this trick. After you bind, move or interact to mouse wheel down, go back into your Nightmare Dungeon and spawn the Goblin Altar like normal. Once the Goblin Altar appears, do not activate it yet. Move your character as close as possible to the altar. After that, make sure your cursor is on the altar, and then scroll your mouse wheel down as fast as possible. If you do it correctly, the game can register multiple interactions very quickly. And instead of only spawn the normal 1 or 2 Treasure Goblins, the altar can spawn a much bigger group of Goblins at the same time. When it works, you should immediately notice the difference, because you will see more than the usual amount of Treasure Goblins running away from the altar. At that point, just chase them down, kill them quickly, and collect all the loot. Also, try not to stand too far away from the altar. You want to be close enough so the interaction happens instantly when you scroll. If you are too far away, your character may move first instead of activating the altar properly, and that can mess up the timing. This trick can also work with other altar, but for Goblin farming, Altar of Avarice is obviously the best one, because it turns the altar into Goblin Altar and gives you the Treasure Goblin spawn directly. And if you really want to go deeper into Goblin farming, you can also add the Greed is Good node. This gives slain Treasure Goblins a chance to open a portal to the Goblin Retreat. The chance is not guaranteed, and from my testing, it can be very rare. But when it happens, the Goblin's Retreat can give you even more Goblins and even more loot. So try it out, see if it works for you, and let me know how many Goblins you managed to spawn from one altar. And that's it for this quick guide. If this video helped you, drop a like, subscribe for more Diablo 4 guide, and I will see you guys in the next one.